Hello, all you beautiful, valid people out there. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Ariah Jay podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jay, and I'm here with my friend and co-host.
Hello, it's Ariah, back with another episode. Episode 7 now, I believe.
Something like that. I don't know, man.
I've been doing this for 7 weeks already. It's crazy.
And I haven't died yet, so that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And we see here Jay drinking his signature drink, Sundrop. So
sponsor me, Sundrop. Sponsor me, Sundrop.
Just so I don't have to. Just so I don't have to find a way to do it later. I've got a Bell's Lighthearted Ale this time. I'm excited to try it. I've never tried this one before.
And also with new signature hat. Look at this shit. It's beautiful. Look at this shit. It's beautiful. I don't know if you can read it. You can't because it's upside down.
It says "Hail Satan." It's not actually upside down for Discord, so it's probably fine.
Well,
it says "Hail Satan,"
and then rest in Soundwave. My favorite thing is that I can wear this at school and people don't know what the fuck is going on. It's great. I'm probably not going to wear this very often. I only drew on this last night. No, not last night, but a couple nights ago before I left. But anyway.
But it's a fun thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Ariah, how's your week?
Oh boy, it was pretty stressful, honestly. I had to find transportation to work most of the days because I don't have access to a car. Because I was sharing one with my dad, and he kind of left.
Without saying anything?
And took the car. Well, he said he was going to be back, and then he wasn't back at that time. And I was like, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, the car had an issue, and I had to go do this. And my phone got stolen, and all these things. And he's a compulsive liar. So I don't know really what's going on, but... Damn, Jay's camera.
I'm literally, it just keeps opening the fucking program for it.
But yeah, so, we're kind of seeing what's going on. I need to be, because I had a car, right, but it broke recently, so I've had to rely on sharing one with my dad. But I'm excited for the next couple months when I get to be out of here and hopefully get down to Ann Arbor, the place that I love the most.
That would be pretty great.
So yeah, it's just kind of been stressful. Not a lot of interesting stories, just it's been stressful and I had to deal with things, but this next week is my spring break, meaning that, because I work at a school, so it's the school's spring break, right? So I don't have to go to work for that week, and that's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, we got spring break coming up in a couple weeks.
I have something that I've been doing recently that I want to talk about, but I'm going to let you talk first before I go into that.
So we get to talk about Jay Wilson's week?
Hell yeah.
Jay Wilson,
How was Jay Wilson's week?
The main character of life.
Yes.
It's my world, and you're all living in it,
Yeah, of course.
As you know, what has gone on this week? This has been a really long week. When was the last time we spoke? Was it literally
It has been a long week. Yeah, it was last time we did a podcast.
Oh, shit.
We didn't actually get to do anything this week together.
Yeah, this week was interesting. Let me think back on my week. So, what happened on Monday? Monday was just a normal day. I've been, running around preparing for a trip that I just went on with band. We went out to a trip. It's this thing called Piedmont Honors Band where a specific group of students from each band within I think it might be the whole state if I'm honest, I don't know, or maybe just the region. But everybody gets together and the ones picked out of every band get to go out to this place called Piedmont, and where you get to work with other kids within this big ass band. There's 60 kids there. It's insane. And It was great. I got to be a first clarinet for that, so that was pretty cool. First clarinet's the best part because I'm cool and awesome and I'm better than everyone, as always. Yes. You know what was really funny? There was a lot of really funny things about this whole trip. But the van ride was great. On the van ride, I got the aux cord, so I got to sit there and just play whatever the fuck I wanted. It was great.
Nice. I forgot you played clarinet.
Yeah.
Because I played clarinet in band.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about this before, but it's been a very long time since we talked about it, over a year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I loved clarinet. I was bad at it, but I probably could have gotten better if I had a better clarinet, because I had a cheap $100 Amazon clarinet. I still have it somewhere. But I liked clarinet a lot. I just was always third clarinet in part wise, Second if there was only two parts, but
yeah, I used to be a third clarinet, and then my freshman year. My band director did this crazy thing where she sat me next to an asshole in the first clarinet spot, where the asshole he's not an asshole anymore. We're friends now, but at the time we were at each other's throats because he would just constantly dismiss me because I didn't know what I was doing, so it pushed me to get good. And then I became a first clarinet, and he's admitted that I'm better than him now. So that's spite.
Hey, that's progress.
Yeah, I did it out of spite, because I can be a really spiteful bitch whenever I want to be, especially if I'm sitting next to you every day and you're acting like an asshole. Anyway, not to slander anybody. Anyway, so
Of course not.
On this trip, I got the aux cord. I was playing all types of good shit all the way down. We were sitting there cracking jokes. I was cursing in the van. I cursed the whole trip because I really don't give a fuck. We went to this hotel. I stayed up till like 1 o'clock in the morning, even though the next day I had to be at the trip. I had to be like at the actual band thing because they give you 3 pieces. Well, we played 4 pieces. They give you 4 pieces, and you have to learn them all within a day. And then that night you have a concert, which was terrifying. It was 10. I
remember our band couldn't have done that.
It was 10 to 12 straight hours of playing. My mouth almost died. What was going on was like, what was I about to say? Yeah, we played for literally 12 hours straight, and I was fucking dying by the end of it. Not straight, but like for 12 hours on and off, which is a long time for your face because there's these things called chops, and it's like the things that lets you fucking play. And everybody was like dead by the end of it. They had to give us like an hour break before the concert for us to actually be able to play it. But like within the actual trip itself, like of course the music was really cool. We played like some John Hughes, which is like we played the Star Wars Cantina theme, stuff like that. It was really fun. I had a really good time with it. Anyway, back to my story as I was so rudely interrupted. Our cameras just fucking hate us today, man. We were having a horrible time.
Yeah.
Continuing with the story before I was so rudely interrupted, stupid Ariah's camera. We played a lot of really cool pieces. Like there was this one called Kentucky 1800, which had some really cool parts within it. There was Night Cries. Night Cries had this really badass like drum part that whenever the audience heard it, they literally like jumped because it was like put it up, like out of nowhere. Nice. And like there were so many like solos that we had to do and stuff. It was insane. And we had a John Hughes piece, and John Hughes is the guy who did like the Star Wars music, and he did the music for like E.T. and what there was more, but I completely blanked. Oh, Jaws. Jaws was another thing that was within that piece. And we were having a really good time. After the Jaws section ends, they literally had a kid like scream like in agony, like because like it was like da 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 ah! And I was just like that's amazing. It made me laugh so fucking much the first time he did it. But within the trip, I'm not meaning to like harp on this. I just like I thought it was so interesting. What else was there? There was like, dude, it was so funny. Like right before we were about to perform, like I was just wandering around, like talking to people and stuff, because I just tend to talk to people. And like this one girl who was sitting next to my friend just like points at me and he goes, "I need your Snap." And I was just like, "Why do you need my Snapchat? I'm confused." And she's like, "Because I want it." And I was like, "Please don't hurt me. My hands are in the air. I don't want to die." But I give her my Snapchat. Then later on, no, it gets better. Because then later on the van ride home, I was sitting next to said friend, and I was like, "Do you know why that girl wanted my Snapchat so bad?" And it was like apparently this girl was talking to this guy behind her, and the guy behind her like pointed at me and was like, "He gives off really big gay vibes." And and the girl's like, "What? Do you want a Snapchat or something? Let me go get it for you." Before the guy could even react. And I started like I thought it was so fucking funny because like I got her Snapchat and then like afterwards like they talked to my friend and were like, "Wait, is he gay?" And she was like, "No." And they were like, "Shit." I thought it was really funny because like apparently like they thought I gave off gay vibes from like what I was wearing and like the way that I was acting, but as soon as they heard my voice for some reason, they realized I was straight. Do I just talk straight or something? Like that doesn't feel like how that works, Like I don't feel like straight people talk a certain way.
I sure, if you say so.
Maybe they do.
I
just don't hear it. I thought it was really fucking funny. I was just sitting there literally fucking dying after that whole bit. Like, just literally, like, on the ride home being like, "Yeah, she wanted that to give it your Snapchat to a guy." And I'm like, "I'm really glad that you were there to tell them that I wasn't gay,"
It's pretty funny.
It is pretty fucking funny because I knew it was like I thought it was for a girl originally, and I was like, yeah, I'm the man, and then I was like, damn it, still the man. I can still appreciate like you know like that whole thing, but you know like it's just like, damn, women though. But dude, the whole trip was really nice. I had a really good time. Like stayed in a hotel room. Talked to one of the band directors about music and like Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa was a fucking genius. But like, you know, talking to another music nerd about stuff makes me really happy because he enjoys music as much as I do. Like he sits there and he like every year he like ranks all the albums he's listened to and tries to find the best album from that year. And I'm like, that's really badass. I should try that. And then I realized I don't have time for that shit. But like somehow he makes time, and I just find that really interesting. What else was I about to say? I just thought the whole trip was really nice. It was nice to get away for a couple days. I mean, there were emotional bits. I don't know what it is about me in hotel rooms, but I ended up breaking down in a lot of hotel rooms. Maybe it's just like the vibes of just like being with people that you're close to and not having to deal with like the whole like everything else where you're usually home and stuff. But like I was just sitting there and I was just like blah, and like they were just, and you know getting hugged in hotel rooms just hits different. It didn't hit as different as it did whenever Ariah and N were down here whenever we were all hugging. But it did hit different. God, I say some of the weirdest shit. I use fucking like weird words. It hits different. Fucking kill me.
It's our generation, Jay.
Yeah, it's our generation, you know. But it was a really good trip overall. Like I feel like I'm still being healthy and making healthy decisions. Haven't talked to anybody bad that I shouldn't be talking to. Haven't been doing things I don't want to do. It's been a really good time.
That's awesome.
It's pretty great. I'm not perfect mentally, but I'm working on it, and that's all that all of us can do. You know.
Yeah, that's all I can hope for.
Yeah, that's all you can hope for. But like that whole trip was really fun, and I had a really good time, and I'm glad that I got to go and interact with a lot of other people and play such like advanced music that I haven't played in like for fucking ever because our band's boring as hell. But anyway,
the only things that were like really interesting that I've been doing lately is first of all, I finally received a whole bunch of new Quest stuff from that back on Kickstarter a while back. I've got 2 new books.
Sick.
This like really cool treasure guide.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like a different material. I don't know how to describe this material, but
yeah.
But it's just got like a whole bunch of like magic items from Quest in it, and they're all so cool. And they're like, there's an image for pretty much all of them, and it's just really cool. I've got this character book also for Quest. Like, look at that art.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool, and it's got a whole bunch of characters and monsters and such, and they all have like super, you know, like this is a primordial cauldron.
Interesting.
And it says, as you reach the edge of the dusty mountain, you see several gigantic snail-like creatures traversing the desolate valley below. They stop their slow crawl, opening their shells on their backs. A huge stack of what looks like flower petals unfurl from their shells and reach toward the sky, rising even taller than a 5-story building. Like huge smokestacks, thick, rolling clouds begin pouring out of the structures. So it like gives like information about all of them, and then it also has like, here's a story, like what they are. You know, like parasitic cauldrons. Some civilizations have found that cauldrons can be used as weapons. With modifications to their biology, cauldrons can be used to pollute already stable worlds that have the reverse effect, making them uninhabitable. So, like, just so much information has been created for like a whole bunch of characters and animals and creatures and such, and it's just so cool. And then I've got
really cool.
I've got like decks where every single character has a card with an illustration and like the information.
I love that.
And it's just so cool. Plus this like field identification guide that you can give to your players. It's like completely in universe. It's so cool. I love Quest. I love this stuff, and I'm glad I finally got to get.
I'll definitely have to play with you at some
things.
point. This sounds like an interesting time.
Yeah. No, I really want. I want to run a Quest game at some point. I feel like that would be a great thing to do with you and some people. But yeah, I've been really excited about that. The other thing that I've been doing is I've been relearning how to make Minecraft data packs.
Yeah, I saw you post something at some point. I think it was in the Discord server. I wasn't paying attention. It was some teleporter or another.
Yeah. Did you watch the video for that I sent?
No, I didn't check the video.
It's okay. Here, let me send it to you real quick.
I find that really cool. Mm-hmm. I've never been like a data pack maker. I've never been able to code or anything. I really wish I could. That would be really cool if I could. Like, I feel like that'd be a really interesting thing to do, you know?
Yeah.
It just never been
something
someday
if you wanted.
Yeah, exactly. One day I might turn into a coder. It just hasn't happened yet. It's more likely that I don't than I do, but maybe one day it'll pique my interest enough. I know enough people that could teach me if I really wanted to, like Ariah, and I've got some like computer. I've got like somebody who's majoring in coding over like at a college, like an hour and a half away. That's really cool.
Yeah. So I've been learning how to make data packs again because I made with Teo some a data pack for our SMP that we did a while ago with Theo.
We really need an episode on that. That would be really cool.
Talk about that. Yeah.
Bring on everybody who was involved in that. That would be really cool.
Oh God, bring on Teo, Olivia, and Theo.
Theodore, my boy. That would be a really cool episode.
Oh,
whenever I come up there.
Oh yeah, just all in one room. God, that would be a mess.
It would be a mess, but it would be hilarious.
But yeah, look, I really want to do that idea, but better at some point.
Yeah, we should definitely like revisit that at some point.
Yeah, either with different people or with the same people, but like a better like plan or something,
exactly.
Right?
Because like there was a lot of really cool things that happened within that. Like there was really good drama. I just like tied everything up in a knot by accident at the end.
Oh, it was great.
I like ended the whole story on a good note, and then they were like, "Wait, where do we go from here?" And I was like, "Shit."
Yeah, so for you guys who don't know, we a little while back we started something that was kind of similar to the Dream SMP. It was inspired by the Dream SMP, but it was our own. And we recorded a lot from it. So did everybody on the server, but we never like got to a point where we made any content out of it because for various reasons.
It kind of fell apart.
It kind of fell apart. I mean, so just in general, I guess it's an idea where there was like a life system involved. Every player started with 10 lives, and when a player is killed by another player, then that player takes one of their lives, right? And if any player is at 0 lives, then they're forced into spectator mode and are dead. But there's like rituals that we made with the data packs that like resurrected people.
To life, yeah.
You can build traps so that if a player dies to TNT or a mob or something, but on the trap, then you can still take their life.
Yeah.
There's ways to exchange 64 diamonds for 1 life if you want to gain lives that way. There was a whole bunch of really cool things like that, and Teo and I coded the data pack for it entirely, and that was really fun. But I've kind of been relearning how to do data packs. I want to make more cool things like that, be it for systems like that, or be it like data packs like that teleporter that I made, and I'm kind of learning how to do that. But I would love to do another one of those SMPs at some point and like actually try to make content out of it with a better plan.
I haven't played Minecraft for fucking ever.
Yeah, I have a server now, a better server than the one before.
That'd be pretty. I remember Theo just got his hands on a Realm again, so we played that the other day.
Oh, Realm, nice. Yeah, I've got one on Apex Hosting, which is like the best hosting site now.
Yeah, the best hosting site, doesn't it like change a lot? It feels like it does.
Yeah, Apex Hosting is very solidly the best one right now. They're fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah, I've been experimenting with their stuff. Like you can like. It's kind of a built-in feature that you can like change servers, like you can have profiles, like with a Minecraft launcher, and pick which server you want to launch. Oh, it's so nice. It's so easy to do like multiple things. You could have a modded server and a vanilla server like on the same server with just like a click of a button to change between them. It's
That's awesome.
So cool. Yeah, no, I'm very happy with it, and so I've been experimenting with that, but. I want to play more Minecraft, but in some kind of structured way for content at some point. That'd be great.
That would be really great. We need to finish Deltarune soon because I really want to see like.
Oh yeah.
Because I've gotten through the big boss at the end and everything.
We're so close.
We just need to walk around the town and do the ending bit stuff. Like at the end of every chapter, apparently you need to do.
Yeah. Are you free tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm free tomorrow.
Should we finish Deltarune tomorrow?
I mean, I'd be down.
Cool.
As long as our third
if not, no pressure, but just let me know. Oh, yeah. And how do you feel about Deltarune tomorrow? Yeah? Okay, cool. Yeah, we're good.
We got a thumbs up. Let's go. My hand looks weird. Sorry.
But yeah, that's really what's been up for with me lately. Yeah. I don't know.
Sick.
a lot of coffee.
Actually, fuck. I hate this thing. I need to like. I'm literally after this recording gonna uninstall this app. I mean that. But I got my hands on a MIDI board today, so that's pretty cool. My uncle, he apparently was trying to make music, but apparently he was failing miserably at it. And whenever technologically anybody doesn't understand what's going on, they always just make me do it. So they're like, "Yo, Jay Wilson, do you want a MIDI board?" And I was like, "Honestly, I've been trying to get my hands on one for like ever now."
Nice.
So like things just kind of worked out to where I got my hands on a free MIDI board. It's like $100 worth, which is pretty cool.
Crazy.
Yeah, it makes me really happy.
I want to buy one at some point.
Yeah.
Gotta wait a couple paychecks, or wait a paycheck at least, but...
Yeah,
we'll see.
But yeah, it's been very music-centric for these past few days, which has been really nice because music's like love and life, and it makes me really happy.
Yeah, we gotta work on our secret music project at some point.
We do need to work on the secret music project at some point. However... Well, what's the however? We just need to at some point. I just keep, like... I keep getting busy.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
And then, like, by the time I'm home, I'm already fucking dead, and I just go to sleep, and I'm just like...
Yeah, I feel ya.
And then we have to finish,
has not doing the play helped at all with that?
It's definitely helped a lot. I just, like, I'm still, like reeling from, like, yesterday, where it was literally just 10 hours straight.
Well, yeah, I guess this week specifically was like more than usual, right?
Yeah, this week was more than usual, but if I'd had to play on top of it, I probably would have died.
Yeah, that's fair.
But what was I about to say? I'm having, like I said, it's been an interesting week. I'm glad that I'm here right now. It's good to be home and like existing. I went out today, went to the record shop again. Didn't buy anything. I got a new pair of glasses that are pretty cool. These ones actually, they're pretty nice, aren't they? Just like the nice tube glasses.
Yeah. I've got a record player that was made in 2014. Dyed my hair blue. It came out as season.
What song is that? I forgot that song.
It's
a TikTok sound.
I pretend I scrape them climbing in the trees. It's called Record Player, and it's by Daisy the Great, and it features AJR.
Yeah, that's what I've heard it. I knew I heard it. I just couldn't remember.
Elevator, I'm going down, down, down. It's great.
I really need to listen to that song again. It's really good. On Friday, not Friday, but yesterday. Either way, it's both the same thing. Yesterday, a song came out that I really like. It's called "Disappointment" by Sarcastic Sounds and Roseboy. It's
nice.
like. And it was interesting because literally the night before I'd been like ranting to my friends about how I felt like I was kind of like a disappointment a little bit, you know? Like felt like I wasn't good enough, which is like a constant feeling that I've had. I'm not sure why. I always like question whether I'm a good person. I think all good people do. Not all good people, but
I know
the unhealthy good people do.
Yeah. Unhealthy good people, indeed.
Yeah, exactly. But then literally the next day, this guy comes out with, "I'm a disappointment. I stay up, take drugs, and disappointments." And I'm just like, holy shit! What are the odds? and Baker was like my buddy Baker, he literally like pulls out a calculator and starts typing in the odds. And he was like, actually, they're pretty high. There's like a 60% chance because they upload like 60,000 new tracks to Spotify every day, and most of those are sad songs. And I'm like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, an artist I follow actually recently released an album as well. Magic Giant. I like them a lot.
I like them. You showed me their stuff before. Their stuff's really nice.
Yeah, their new album was a little disappointing. Not because there's not great songs on it, but all of the great songs on that album were singles before the album came out. So the new songs were disappointing. But I do love the singles from that album. Are great.
I hate when an album has like really good singles and then the actual album itself doesn't. No, my favorite, but the best thing in the world is the opposite, when the singles aren't that good but the album itself fucking slaps.
Yeah, right? Yeah, like I'd recommend for a marketing standpoint, like don't put the best song from the album as a single. Put the second best song from the album as a single, and then some of the lower tier songs from the album as singles.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when the album comes out, it's like, whoa, these three are great songs. That one's the best one.
Yeah.
And then you're,
Like this band Brockhampton, they released a bunch of singles for their album Ginger that came out a few years back, and all the singles I was very confused. I was just like, what? Like I was like, this doesn't feel like their best stuff. And literally the biggest song they ever made was on the album, not one of the singles. Like that song is as big. It's like Sugar. It's like spending all my nights alone waiting for, and I'm just like, holy shit. Brockhampton was there. They just didn't fucking tell us, motherfuckers.
Something similar happened with the Porter Robinson album, Nurture, which I like. I like a lot. But look at the Sky is one of my favorite songs by Porter Robinson. I love it so much, and it was a single that came out before the album. So when the album came out, I was a little disappointed. But yeah,
I hate when bands release their best stuff first.
It's another album that I was looking forward to. I don't actually remember if there's another album that I was looking forward to. Magic Giant might have been the last one announced. Because there's a new Pigeon Pit album that was good.
Cool.
I don't know. Have you listened to Pigeon Pit at all?
That sounds very familiar, but I'm not sure.
Have I mentioned Pigeon Pit to you at all?
I don't think you've mentioned them, but I swear I've heard that name before.
Oh my gosh. I love them.
That was very interesting. I've definitely heard that song before. I'm not sure where I've heard that song before, but I've definitely
I love Pigeon Pit. That's not my favorite song by Pigeon Pit, but it's the first one I heard by Pigeon Pit.
Nice. Like these.
I love it. Yeah, it's
folk music in general is
and
really
I
good.
Stayed
Folk
up,
punk's interesting.
Chain smoking in the kitchen till you got home and the curtains were on fire. Fuck, I'm sorry you feel all alone. The TV is blasting shadows in that face. The back is the face. And I place my head between my knees and think, do you ever have nights like these so separated from my sense of self and the shit you keep up on your bookshelf? So good. I love it. I love the singer's trans. She's great. I love it.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and then she's got newer stuff that's fantastic. One of my favorite songs is on her second album, actually.
I finally added that 100 Gex song Me to my playlist.
Me. Oh, I love it. And you'll never really know.
I showed it to my sister on the way to school the other day, and she just started like headbanging with me. I was like, and you'll never really know, no.
I love hyperpop so much. Hyperpop is so good.
Hyperpop is a fucking vibe. I will tell you that. But it's interesting. It's very interesting. I don't entirely understand hyperpop. Like, I love the music, but I don't understand a lot of like the intricacies. Maybe one day I'll make a hyperpop song one of these days.
Oh gosh, I want to be a hyperpop artist.
It's gonna be straight fire when Jay Wilson starts making hyperpop. My first concert
All
was
of
a
my songs are
hyperpop
going
concert, so of course I'm gonna try to make hyperpop music.
Yeah.
And now that I have a MIDI board, it's gonna be a lot easier to do that because I can program drums onto things, because that's what all the hyperpop artists do. They use MIDI boards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Jay Wilson's gonna be great. I'm already great, but I'm gonna be even more great.
All of the greatness.
Yeah, all of the greatness is gonna be like fucking like funneled into this. You know what I found really interesting the other day was like arguing in a comment section. That was interesting.
Yeah, that was.
I don't like arguing with people.
That was a time.
I
don't either. There was a little bit of a thing.
I just I was sitting there in culinary, and that's the only class I have service in, and I check our comments. So I was like, that's really interesting. That person commented, and Ariah made a comment with it, and I was like, that's interesting, and it was talking about me, and I was just like, wow, talking about Jay Wilson without Jay Wilson being around, you bitches. But like it was like an old Doki Doki video, and those were like the most I think that probably was the most offensive I ever got.
It was, but I literally rewatched that video, and it was like fine. Like the one before it was more offensive.
Yeah, like they were like talking about how I was like they were mad about the fact that I thought that one of the characters was my favorite, and they were pissed off.
No, it's because you kept calling her a bitch. Like that's why.
I call everybody a bitch.
Exactly. And it's like fine, like nobody cares.
And the commentator was like acting like I was like and the commentator was acting like I was like openly dismissing you and stuff throughout the video, which just wasn't what was happening.
No, it really wasn't. Like I rewatched the whole thing. As I said, I rewatched the whole thing.
If that had been what happening, you would have told me. It
was fine.
Is the thing.
Yeah. It was fine. Like
it was especially for our content at that point, it was fine. Like it wasn't perfect.
Like I mean, we probably wouldn't have done that same thing nowadays, but like
Definitely not.
in general, I enjoyed the video. Like I
Yeah.
genuinely enjoyed watching it because I forgot.
Yeah,
it's
but
been
and
years.
it was just
That's
explaining, hey, this wasn't for you, and I guess you can just go ahead and say bye-bye, and I'm sorry that it wasn't for you, you know? And I just I just get a text from you, and you send me a screenshot of you sending a message, and you're like, hey, by the way, we're not answering this person anymore, because it was like 5 comments long or something.
This. Yeah, I wanted to finish.
I was like, I was fine with just telling them that I've matured at this point, and that's it.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw the whole like instance of me rewatching the video and how I like with that perspective before we
Yeah,
stopped.
for
replying,
sure.
But
I didn't think that video was that bad either, but like my
No.
idea of offensive and other people's ideas of offensive are completely different.
I would recommend re-listening to the Doki Doki series. By the way, it's.
Am I funny?
It's a
Am I
time.
still funny over time?
Oh, it was a good series.
I still can't get over the fact that
definitely-
I called events happening within the future of that game.
Yeah, it's definitely like our darkest series, but that I enjoyed it a lot.
I don't even think it, but like, well, I don't think that it was even like as bad as that guy was trying to make it out. I don't know. I don't understand people getting that triggered about stuff, especially whenever it comes to like me liking or disliking a character and then being upset about the fact that I wasn't like oh my god, that's my favorite character and I'm going to like simp for them is pretty much what it felt like they were expecting me to do, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's really dumb, honestly. I make fun of every character, even if I fucking love them to death. It's just what I do. I think it's funny. I
mean, like the worst thing in that video was how much you were obsessed about Sarah hanging herself. You were talking about like she's gonna hang herself. Everyone like that we've seen death in so many other fashions and other medias, but we haven't seen hanging yet, so that's gonna be what happens.
It's true though. You don't get to see hanging in many mediums at all.
So that was probably like the most yikes thing that was in
Wait,
that
no, there
video,
was that
but,
there was
like,
that was that one game that we played that Markiplier played, remember? Didn't the main character in that game end up hanging themselves or something? Not the main character, but like they walked into the room and somebody was dead. Presentable Liberty.
somebody shot themselves.
It was Presentable Liberty. Yeah, it wasn't hanging, it was shooting. See, hanging yourself doesn't...
That's a game.
I cried. I don't think I was either crying or like I almost cried. Because
we played most of it before I realized that the creator killed himself.
Yeah, and I remember you being like, oh, and I was like, what? And then just the rest of that session was just like, fuck.
Yeah, it was dreadful. I mean, like, it was time.
Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate that piece of art a lot.
I appreciate it a lot too. It was definitely like something that hit me, especially after hearing all that, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Because when it was big on YouTube, when other people played it, then that hadn't happened, so I didn't know about it. But
yeah, I didn't even watch the original videos of it. Obviously, that entire game was just so fucking interesting.
Didn't like MatPat play it like right after we did?
He may have.
Didn't he copy us?
MatPat has copied us within multiple facets, and it pisses me off. Stupid MatPat.
Well,
You think you can move to North Carolina and say it's yours? Fuck you.
Like typically he copies like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
I still need to play the new
usually I
FNAF
see
game
them
at some
upload
point.
something.
Can we do a video on the
Yeah.
new FNAF game at some point? That would be really funny.
Yeah, usually they upload. I think we should. That'd be great. Usually he uploads like a couple days after Markiplier or Jacksepticeye with like the same game or whatever. But yeah, this is October 4th, 2021, and then Ariah and Jay. Presentable Liberty.
We played it.
Oh, okay. So it was a few months later, but he did play it after us and definitely copied us.
Definitely copied us. Definitely saw our video and was like, shit.
Yeah.
That was a really good piece of art right there. I love pieces of art in general. Excuse me.
There's another one in that same series that's a prequel. That's a clicker game called Exoptable Money, but I don't know if we'll ever play that.
I don't know. I find it really interesting that I as an artist, I can be so impulsive sometimes, because literally right before we went on stage, while we were like practicing like a little bit right before we went on stage yesterday, I literally got out a pencil because I got an idea for a logo and started sketching it on the piece of music.
Nice.
Because it like hits me in the weirdest facets sometimes, you know? Like I'll be in the middle of like class and I'll get some lyrics in my head and I'll be like, shit, I gotta write those down or else I'm gonna forget them.
Yeah, that's how it always is for me as well.
But like I have to do it within that moment because I get that moment of like clarity where I'm like, shit, this is exactly how that needs to go or something. Especially if I'm like working on a song, it needs to be exactly like that.
Yeah, I get that way with a lot of like programming projects or other kind of creative projects, of where I'm like, oh shit, this is a good idea, I gotta write this down, or like, oh, this is a good method for doing the thing that I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Or
yeah, like
ooh,
as soon
what
as
if
you
this
catch
character
it,
does this at some point and I have to write it down instantly or I'm gonna forget.
Yeah. Today was also interesting. On Instagram, I saw like the drummer for this band Foo Fighters. I don't know if I've talked to you about Foo Fighters, but the
I don't think you have, but I know they exist.
Foo Fighters are great. The drummer for Nirvana actually is the lead singer of that band. His name's Dave.
All I know is
Grohl.
that they're referenced in The Magicians, which is a show I like a lot.
I've never watched The Magicians. You told me to watch it, and I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it was Florians United. Okay, so it's complicated, but there's this group in the show that's like a very, you know, it comes up like a couple times, but they're called the Florians United, right? And they're like this like anti-kingdom like force, and they call themselves the Foo Fighters.
I love it.
And then like the main characters who are from Earth are like, Foo Fighters, really?
I love it. But
yeah.
But anyway, the drummer for Nirvana, he was working with he is the front man for Foo Fighters. But the drummer for Foo Fighters died today, which is unfortunate.
Oh my gosh! Oh no!
I saw it on Instagram this morning while I was scrolling, and I was like, shit, because that drummer was really good.
Crazy.
He's been within the scene for forever.
Yeah. Well,
Taylor Hawkins was his
peace.
name. He was a really big inspiration for a lot of drummers, and I thought his music was really great. So that's sad.
Yeah. Well.
Rest in peace.
It always
is all I have to say about that. It happens to the best people.
Yeah.
But he was also he wasn't that old. Like I think he was with like in his 50s, which is like still not as old as it could have been, but still.
Yeah.
I think that's really sad when people just kind of pass away, and it was like really unexpected too. It wasn't like he was like battling anything; it just kind of came out of nowhere.
That's the worst, yeah.
Yeah, because like you don't get any type. Because like if somebody's sick, then you can be like, yeah, I guess this is how it's happening. Anyway, speaking of people who should die soon, the Queen. Am I right, fellas?
There's a fucking like rumor because apparently like some place in like China got an order for like the Queen memorial like flags or something that like said 1920 whatever to 2022 on them. Like apparently they were being manufactured in China. Like they got an order from someone in the United Kingdom.
You know my favorite thing?
It doesn't mean anything, but like because like, you know, if they're rich, then the good thing to do is probably to just like order one every year.
Mm-hmm.
But
that way they have it.
But like
fucking Jay Schlack predicting the Queen's death every time that he fucking can. Like whenever it's like he's sitting there playing video games with Ludwig, and Ludwig's just like, yeah, the Queen's not gonna die. The Queen has plenty of life left in her, and Jay Schlatt's, I disagree. Actually, March 17th, 2022, that's going to be a very interesting date. Or something like that, you know? Because he's Jay Schlatt, and he just does shit like that.
Yeah.
Today at lunch, I was sitting there talking to my friends, and for some reason the Queen came up, and I just called her Lizzie. I didn't even call her the Queen, I was just like, oh, Lizzie.
Oh,
because,
Lizzie.
you know, because, like, we have this joke that I'm a god, and I've been around forever. And I'm just like, yeah, me, because they're like, why don't you just age like permanently because of the Queen? And I'm just like, me and Lizzie talked about it back in the day, and Lizzie wanted to get really, really fucking old, and I just wanted to be reincarnated a bunch of times. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Because getting old forever sounds awful, but Lizzie wanted that, so you know, You do what you can.
Lizzie Salem in your Ozpin.
Lizzie. You know, in the beginning, there was Jay Wilson and Lizzie.
Yes. Indeed. This was how it was. What the fuck is this episode?
I don't know, man. It just is what it is. I haven't found.
It is.
We haven't hit like an overarching narrative at any point. Like I don't feel like I really have anything very overarching to be talking about. You know, like
yeah, me neither.
I don't think there's any really big bases at this point that we need to hit. That like in my mind, I'm like shit that one.
Yeah. What do we do about that?
You can just name it some point that came up within the episode. It doesn't have to be like something. Yeah, you can just name it whatever. Like what if like Jay Wilson?
Does Jay Wilson is gay?
Does Jay Wilson is gay? I love that title. Please use that title. We're just gonna clickbait the fuck out of the audience whenever we have episodes like this. God, dude. What else has been going on in my life? I just like. Generally, it's been weird this past week. It has felt very long. I do agree with you. I'm not sure why it feels so long.
It's been so long. I can't believe that like we recorded the podcast like for last week.
Yeah, it's like literally like this week. It was just a lot of running around and doing a bunch of stuff. Like obviously, just schoolwork.
I'm not gonna miss this week.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Nah, this week was
excited for the next week.
Yeah, definitely. Next week's going to be way better. Because it has to be, you know? Plus, there's a lot less to do next week. And the week after that. And then I have spring break coming up. And then 420 is going to be funny because it's 420, you know?
Oh my god, 420.
420 is very funny.
Wait, what day is 420?
It's a Wednesday?
Yeah, you're right. How do you know that?
Uh-oh. Jay Wilson's a smart human being.
How do you just know that 420 is a Wednesday? Like, off the top of your head.
Listen, man, every year I have it memorized. It's an important day, you know?
Of course.
It's the one day a year Jay Wilson gets to smoke on the podcast.
Yeah, maybe the week of 420 I'll have a joint on the podcast.
That'd be pretty
instead of my drink.
That'd be pretty fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be Jay Wilson. Jay Wilson doesn't smoke. Jay Wilson does crack cocaine.
Yes.
Exactly.
My weed's over there somewhere right now.
My favorite thing in the entire world right now is just like the fucking... Dude, my favorite thing is that today I was hanging out with my friends, right? And I was walking around with my friends, and one of my friends, like, they also don't have a dad, but their dad died. Right, like their dad died like whenever they were like little, so like they joke about it too. So my favorite thing is that today, like as soon as I saw that friend, because I haven't seen them in a while, I was like, "Hey, buddy, how's your dad?" And dude, like everyone else like was just like, "Whoa," and then she just starts dying laughing like, "Oh, you know."
Yeah.
He's doing pretty good actually, and they're all like, "Dude, you can't be saying shit like that." And I'm just like, and you know, my dad, I think he's probably doing okay. I don't know. It's pretty great.
Something.
I think the best thing in the world is making people uncomfortable with those jokes. Because even at the band thing yesterday, I cracked it, like my buddy Ryan yelled from the back and was just like, this is why your dad left. And everyone was like, shit. And I was just sitting there dying laughing up front. Dude, I got to wear the fucking glasses on stage. Like, I was wearing a yellow pair of glasses on stage when we performed.
Nice. I love that.
It was badass. I was sitting there, like, fucking, like, feeling great. It was a great situation. Because, like, the thing that was funny was I was wearing a pair of glasses, like, my buddy's pair that you can't see your eyes with, you know? Like they were, like, these square red ones that you can't see your eyes with. No, they were square blue ones. He's got a couple pairs like that. But then, like, the director... It was actually the director who taught me how to play, was actually the one directing the band, which was wild. I hadn't seen her in a while. I love her to death. But she goes, I might be old-fashioned, but I want to see people's eyes, so if you have sunglasses on, take them off. And I'm like, whoa, what if I wear glasses where you can see my eyes? And she was like, yeah, sure. And then I literally yell across the room, give me back my fucking glasses! to Aaron. I didn't say fucking. I wish I would have. It would have been really fucking funny. But I was like, Aaron, give me back my glasses right now. It's more important that I wear the funny sunglasses than you wear the funny sunglasses. He's like, yeah, that's true. Take them. But then he pulled out another pair of his that you could see your eyes with. And so I was like the first chair, so I was right on the outside, so the whole crowd got to see me wearing the glasses, which is so fucking funny to me.
That's fantastic.
Dude, I'm just...
You earned it, Jay.
Dude, you know what's crazy? Is that there were so many other people at this place that were wearing glasses. Like, the girl sitting next to me was wearing glasses. There was a girl across the room wearing glasses. Dude, there was like 8 people within this band wearing funny sunglasses, and I was literally sitting there in heaven. I was like, I fucking ascended. I'm playing...
You're like, I found my spot in life. I found my people.
This is home. A Cave Town started playing in the background, you know? This is home.
Yes.
But dude, you have no idea how fucking funny that was. I literally, like, after the first practice, because look, whenever we got there for the first night, we had a 2.5 hour practice, and then we went back to the hotel rooms. But right after the 2.5 hour practice, I literally, like, ran up to my friends. I was like, holy shit, do you see this? Because there's people walking away with funny sunglasses. They're like, what the fuck just happened?
Oh, I love it.
It's like, are we just gonna ignore this? And they were just like, you know, you're God. So I guess they just got the memo. The funny sunglasses thing.
You're a trendsetter.
Yeah, the funny sunglasses has transcended just Jay Wilson. It's just the world now.
It's a trend now. It's what's in.
You know, who needs to hit a renegade when you can just wear funny sunglasses? You know.
I know, right?
I don't do TikTok dances. I don't know how they work. I rule the world. I love how you only have like one pair and I have a fucking box. I put them all in a box.
I should get more.
I literally bought myself a box. I don't know.
God, you mentioned TikTok dances. We should have a goal where Jay does a bunch of TikTok dances if we reach it.
I should do the Rambo thing where I just do TikTok dances because that gets a hell of a lot of views for some reason. Like, did you see the one where he did like the anime dance of like some like gif of an anime character doing a dance and he just copied it? It was so fucking funny. Rambo is a fucking maniac and I love him to death.
I am a TikTok boomer.
I'm not a TikTok boomer. I just like I watch certain things. Like obviously I've seen that. I sent that video. I've had that sent to me before by people who watch the Dream SMP and they're like, you've been Ramboozled, and it's just Rambo doing the fucking dance. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I love it. Yeah. I don't know. I just watch things on my For You page occasionally. So like whatever's there, I watch, and usually it's like I don't know anything about TikTok trends.
Yeah,
I use my For You page sometimes, but
yeah, I don't even know if that was a trend. He may have just done it because he felt like it. It's Ranboo, man. You can't really expect it. He's been getting way better about showing his eyes on the internet, which is really cool.
All right, how about this? If we can make it to 10 patrons, then Jay will do the floss on camera.
Oh God. Oh God. That's what this is now? Are you gonna make me do it for TikTok since you have no fucking ideas for TikTok?
Yeah, you can do it for TikTok. We'll do it on TikTok. We'll do the floss on camera on TikTok, on the Ariah Jay TikTok. Both of us will, why not? For 10 patrons. Doesn't matter how much, but 10 total patrons.
Oh, Jesus.
This offer does not expire. Eventually it will happen. Probably,
I'm in
maybe,
hell.
I don't know.
I'm in hell. I have to do the fucking floss of all things. Dear God. Wasn't that like a 2018 thing?
Well, yeah, that's the point.
Oh God, I'm just gonna look like a boomer on TikTok. Oh God.
Oh my gosh.
Ariah, you can't do this to me. My street cred.
I'll do it as well.
Dear God, but you don't have any street cred. Fuck.
Well, it's never too late to start.
Yeah, but it's more likely that the people in my life find out about my YouTube through TikTok than anything.
That would be hilarious.
If the motherfuckers in my life got on their For You page, me doing that shit, I'd fucking kill myself. That would be it. I'd be done. My whole world goes kablamo.
Oh my god, that's amazing. They'd be
Please
like,
don't.
"What the fuck is this channel? This is this fucking Jay."
Where the
And
fuck
they
did
look it
Jay?
up
What
and
the
it's
fuck
like,
is Jay
"Whoa."
doing? Tell them if they ask me about it.
Oh
Tell them
my
to
God.
only watch the Doki Doki series.
Oh my god.
Jay Wilson.
That would be crazy.
I'm an asshole. I'm a good,
the
kind
good
of
kind of
asshole.
asshole.
I'm the God kind of asshole.
Yes.
I'm like Kanye West, except I'm not Kanye West.
You're like Kanye West, but less problematic.
Wait, Jay Wilson being less problematic than somebody? What the fuck is going on? What kind of backwards ass Kanye West? If you're, it's like, you know, if Kanye West is more problematic than I am, he's doing something horribly wrong. You know?
Yeah, he is.
Fucking Kanye. What is with him? Why does he just exist in my life?
I don't know, man.
Is he like the final boss and me being rich and famous is just gonna be Kanye West?
Oh my gosh, it's fucking...
Please don't let Kanye West be my fucking arch nemesis.
You're so close to number one on the fucking whatever top music charts.
And it's just
And-
Kanye.
It's Kanye who's above you, and then...
And then I'm gonna start Twitter beef with Kanye West.
Twitter beef with Kanye West, hell yeah.
I'll literally type at Kanye West, how's Pete Davidson doing?
And Kanye West is like, I gotta get all the Chaos Emeralds, and it's like... Then you got it.
Chaos Control! Fucking Shadow. Do you remember the Shadow game where Shadow had a fucking gun?
God.
You know, did I tell you how my first video game was Sonic 06?
Oh my gosh, Sonic 06 is fantastic. It's horrible.
No, but like legitimately, it wasn't my first game, but one of my earliest memories as a little kid was playing Sonic 06. Was like
I played games before Sonic 06 came out, so
that's fair. Listen, man, Sonic 06 came out when I was 2.
yeah. It came out when I was 6, or no, 5, almost 6.
Dude, but I remember playing that game. One of my earliest memories is running around. Like, at the beginning, there's a scene where, like...
The speed of sound?
Yeah, running around at the speed of sound. I remember watching Sonic Underground, the fucking, like, weird show where Sonic played guitar for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, like, vividly the beginning of Sonic 06 running across the beachfront. I remember that for some reason, he was trying to save some, like, princess. It was very weird. Having humans interact with Sonic is weird.
How can you make a game as bad as Sonic 06? Like, genuinely.
They thought it would be interesting.
How can a team work on a game and make every decision incorrectly?
It's because they wanted Sonic the Hedgehog, Shadow the Hedgehog, and for some reason that silver guy.
How do you make a game as bad as Sonic 06?
Can we do a series on Sonic 06?
Oh my god.
I promise I could probably end
Do
up...
you have a way to play it?
I used to. I could probably end up finding an emulator on my computer.
If we find a way to, then maybe at some point, but god, like seriously,
Sonic
like
06.
I couldn't make a game worse than Sonic 06 if I tried.
I don't know, the people who made the E.T. game did pretty bad too.
Yeah, well, E.T. is much less content, so it doesn't really count, you know.
That's fair.
Like content-wise, you know, like obviously E.T. is considered one of the worst games of all time.
I remember
but, like,
playing
it's also,
so
like,
much of fucking
4
Sonic 06.
screens.
I was like...
Sonic 06 is like a big, like, first-party game.
I remember that game confused me when I was little. It still probably would because of all the glitches and stuff. Because I was like, why do I keep dying? But then I forgot that the game, like, was bugged. I didn't realize that because I was like 10. I was less than 10. I was probably like 7.
And you can see Eggman's eyes. You can see Eggman's eyes in Sonic 06.
It's not okay.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and like Eggman was like a big fucking like threat for once in his life, you know? Like it wasn't like the funny threat that he usually is. He was like, haha, I'm stealing your girl. I'm stealing yo bitch, Sonic. Anyhow, I'm really tired of this. Oh my god, I just said anyhow.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Anyhow. You say anyhow all the time.
Not anymore. It doesn't happen as much as it used to. It used to be like constantly. I used to watch a lot more Technoblade. I miss watching Technoblade. His stuff's so good.
Yeah. I've only seen his involvement in the Dream SMP and then the Potato Wars.
Potato Wars. I've seen all his old Sky Wars videos. Those were always really good back in the day. Like, him talking about going to college and stuff, it's like stuff that I should be dealing with now. I still haven't applied to college yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if I will.
You don't have to.
I don't know if I will. Thankfully, I got my mom to a point where she's like, whatever, either way. She's like, whatever makes you happy. I think that you should, but, like, I'm not gonna kill you if you don't. Which is really appreciated. I just, like, especially with the things that I want to do with my life, I don't see... you can't really get a degree to be any more creative. Like, it may make you look slightly better in the long run, but, like, if you still make it either way, what's the point, you know?
Yeah.
It's just a lot of wasted money at that point. Not saying that every job shouldn't have a degree. Like, doctors should have degrees, and lawyers should have degrees, and people who, like, want that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it should be very individualized and very based on what you want to do.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I feel like, because, like, with my, like, want for music and stuff, it's not like I'm wanting to be a music teacher or something, you know? Now, that'd need it. But, like, wanting to go and make music and be happy, like, with that for the rest of my life is a completely different situation, you understand?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
understand?
Sure. Yeah, like, I want to focus on content creation and on making games and
we're gonna
and
make
that kind
it.
of stuff. And
Ariah, mark my words. A decade max. We're gonna be living and sitting pretty off making like music and
gonna be
content.
able to make money doing what we love in 10 years.
Yeah,
I agree.
Mark my words, motherfuckers.
Within 10 years, it'll happen.
10 years, I'm going to be rich and
Speaking
famous, and I'm
of-
going to make more money than Jeff Bezos, and I'm going to give it all to charity. Out of spite.
Mm.
And I'm going to buy
Out of
Amazon
spite.
and say, you can't have it back until you start being nice to people. And then he's never going to get it back.
Buy Amazon and 80% of all the profits go to charity.
Yeah, exactly. And what's Jeff Bezos going to do? I bought it from him, you know? Or like, I'm gonna buy every horrible, like, person. Like, I'm gonna buy Tesla and everything from Elon Musk and be like, you can't have it until you start being nice. And then they're never gonna get it back, and all their money's gonna go to charity. And they're gonna be like, why? And I'm gonna be like, because you guys are assholes. They're gonna be like, how do you do it? And I'm like, because I'm God. And then walk away.
It's gonna happen someday.
It's gonna be great. Like, Jay Wilson is gonna be more of a household name than any of these motherfuckers, you know?
Hell yeah.
Jay Wilson's gonna be running around with his own fucking, like, brand, like, multiple brands, you know? Like, there's gonna be, like, a fashion line, there's gonna be, like, I'm gonna own my own fucking record label where I'm giving kids like me shots. Stuff like that, you know? Like, it's just gonna be a great situation. There's gonna be there's gonna be a World Ender Pastries, like, for real.
Yeah. So one location somewhere.
Yeah, it's gonna be one location, and everyone's gonna fucking roll over themselves, and everyone's gonna be like, why can't you open another location? I'm gonna be like, because it's funnier. We're gonna be sitting there in our big corporate headquarters, and people are gonna be banging on the doors wanting more pastries, and we're gonna be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'd go to the one location in the world. Where are we gonna put it?
I would, but the money that I would have spent on more pastry shops is going to charity, so, like...
I'm sorry, unless you want me to stop ending world hunger, then I'd shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
We're gonna end world hunger, Ariah.
I agree.
All by
It's gonna be
ourselves. All by ourselves.
Real talk, though. At least we're putting a little more light in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying, like, at this current moment, but I'm saying one day, especially if we're doing this forever, which we are, I think the more and more that we do and the more that we try to do, especially whenever we've both opened up facets, like, we're going to have a monopoly on every industry. Like, Jay Wilson will run music, Ariah's going to have, like, a game studio.
I don't know about capitalism.
I'm not saying...
I think we should get rid of capitalism.
I don't disagree, but I'm saying, like, we're gonna be, like, on top of everything is what I mean.
Also, I think the FTC would investigate us if we had a monopoly on things.
No,
so,
what I'm saying, we'd be like A tier, we'd be like double S tier of every field
Sure,
that we try to conquer. You know, like I'd be at the top of music, you'd be at the top of like video games, and you'd have your own studio with all types of people who love to work with you.
I'll rival Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft.
Yeah, exactly. What else will we have? We'll be at the top of YouTube. We'll be bigger than Mr. Beast by then. Sorry, Mr. Beast.
Then I'll buy a Nintendo and I'll make another good Pokemon. A little buzzed. Another good Paper Mario game.
Then we'll buy Mr. Beast. That sounded like slavery.
Mario.
It's not slavery because I'm paying it.
Buy the brand. Not
buy his brand, and then I'll be Mr. Beast.
It'd be like the Some More News thing.
Yeah, and I'll be a big ass.
Someone bought Some More News and then replaced the host.
And then I'll be a big ass actor. I'll be running Hollywood too. I'll be directing and writing because that sounds like really fun. A lot of fun too.
Hell yeah.
What else?
Pipe dreams.
They're not pipe dreams. They're just what's gonna happen, you know? I'm just talking about the future, man. It's the same as all these kids being like, I'm gonna run through college and I'm gonna do this. It's the exact same thing. You can't convince me otherwise.
It's a good point.
Because there's no guarantees for them, just like there's no guarantees for me.
Yeah.
The odds.
This is what you're working towards.
The odds are what the odds are, and I'm gonna overcome every obstacle to get there.
Respect.
Sorry, not sorry, world. But you're gonna see me,
sorry,
and you're
sorry.
gonna fuck.
Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, here. Mark my words, world. You're gonna see me out there, and you're gonna love me. It's gonna be impossible not to like me whenever I'm out there. I don't know. I very much agree with that sentiment of just overall. I'm just gonna go out and do what I love, and I hope a bunch of other people love it the way I do. And eventually it'll work out. And if it doesn't, I've done well. It won't. There is no if it doesn't. I'm just gonna get there.
Yeah.
Backup plans are for people who don't make it.
Oh boy.
Because you flash back to like other people who made it big, they weren't sitting there like, oh, what if this doesn't happen, you know?
Maybe they were. Who knows? I don't know.
If they were doing it wrong. Because if I sat here and said if it doesn't, then I'd be more focused on the if it doesn't than if it did.
That's a good point, yeah.
Because if I sit here and keep going when it does rather than if it does, then in my mind I'm going there. And whenever you set your mind to something, you can do almost anything other than like fly. I mean, planes exist though.
You could maybe someday they'll invent something that lets humans grow wings and then you can fly.
Yep, Jay Wilson's gonna fly.
Might happen someday.
Stop saying might. It's gonna happen someday.
Yeah, Jay Wilson's gonna fly someday for sure. It's gonna happen.
Jay Wilson's gonna fly. Jay Wilson's gonna rule the world, and it's gonna be great.
Everybody wants to rule the world.
Not everybody. You know,
for freedom and for pleasure, nothing ever lasts forever.
I love that song.
Everybody wants to rule the world. I love that song so much.
That song's so good.
Tears for Fears is great. I like that a lot, and I like Mad World a lot.
Yeah. I just I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast, but I just don't understand the whole not reaching as far as you can, you know? Like, you know,
I think you briefly touched on it, yeah.
I think, for me, it just, I can't imagine, I have briefly touched on this, I just can't imagine not wanting to go bigger and better with everything, you know? Like, certain people are like, yeah, I'm gonna get to a certain point within the whatever field, and that's just gonna be it, you know? I'm not gonna I'm just gonna settle down and get a family, and that'll be my life. And it's just like, that just sounds, not that I'm against like that or anything. Like, do whatever you want, but I just, for me, it's just not me. You know, like, I have like big aspirations, and I want to go do a bunch of stuff, and I want to live this life to the fullest as much as I possibly can. And I couldn't imagine not wanting that and constantly moving towards that. I don't know. That's just my whole perspective.
I agree. I'm not as good at you as following that, but I agree. That's where I want to be. And I'm yeah.
Sometimes I doubt myself, but then at the end of every single time that I sit there and I self-doubt, I come back. You have like a little session where you're like, shit, maybe it won't, maybe it's all gonna fall apart. That's what I had like not last night, but the night before on Thursday night, as of recording. I was sitting there and just like overwhelmed with just so much shit, and I was like, what if all these people that have doubted me in my life, and all these people that have left and just haven't been there the way they should have been, what if they were right? And like, you know, you sit there and you have your breakdown, you let yourself feel like the whole world's crashing down, and then you get back up and you look around and you realize, but you know what, they're not going to be right. Nobody is. You know, the only person's opinion that should matter to you is yours at the end of the day. I'm not saying that to like, as like assholes who are like, yeah, I'm so cool and awesome, I can't do anything wrong. It's not like that, but like your opinion of yourself and what you're going to do, that should be your thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you should be sitting there and like listening to everyone else being like, oh, you need to think about this more. Or like, oh, you need to do what everyone else is doing. You need to go to college. You need to go find yourself a steady job somewhere and just slowly fade away. I don't want to fade away. Because that's what most people do in their lives. They fade away rather than like exploding like a star.
Yeah, I think like, at least for me, I care less about like being big or like, you know, the thing I care about most is I really want to make something, you know.
Yeah.
Like I want to make a game people like. I want to make something that outlives me, you know.
Yeah.
So that, you know, regardless of how successful I am in life, at least there's something left behind, something that people can still continue to enjoy.
Yeah, for sure.
Even when I'm, you know, dead. Like at, you know, like to the point where, like I like the idea of a lot of historical figures who are authors, you know, people who wrote a book 300 years ago that people still read today, you know, or like those kinds of things. Like I want to do that, you know. I want to make a game that people will still play 300 years from now, you know. New people will still find, you know, like that kind of thing. Like, because if I can make something that outlives me and like kind of, you know, that I can put myself into, then that's really what I want to do in life. That's really what makes me happy.
Sure.
That's what I love about content creation, is because, you know, I'm just kind of like putting myself out on the internet, and then like it'll still be there even when I'm dead, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what I want.
I guess. I crack jokes about like being famous, being big, and being better and bigger than everyone else in the entire world, which will happen. Don't get me wrong, but that's not the main goal. I think for me, doing all this stuff, the reason that I want all this stuff is I just like, I want to inspire people the way that I've been inspired so much, you know.
Yeah.
Like, because I want
to make people feel the way that people have made me feel.
Exactly, and that's what I constantly do, you know. Like, the reason that I pay for a lot of things that other people pay for, like, you know, like I go out to dinners and I pay for stuff. Like, whenever you came down here, I paid for the hotel room and tried to pay for every meal that we went to and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like I started doing that. I started doing that because I used to have. I didn't have it. You know, I didn't have money. I didn't have the ability to pay for things. I was a poor kid. I used to go to competitions for marching band, and I wouldn't have any money, so we'd go out to eat, and I'd be sitting there like without anything, and like people would have to put their money together for me and stuff. You know, like I just want to make people.
Yeah, you
feel
told the story
way.
in the podcast.
Yeah, but you know, like that's what I want to do, but like on a grander scale. I want the whole world to hear what I have to say, and for some other kid somewhere else to be like, shit, he's right. You know? Like, I want some kid to hear me someday talking about how I made it, and then to have their own story someday about how they made it. And just the cycle perpetuate forever.
I agree. That's all we can hope for.
Yeah, I want people to actually, like, find some inspiration within what I do. That's all. And that's like that. It's not even like, it almost sounds narcissistic. Like oh, I'm above people and that's why they should look up to me. But I don't think that's what I mean.
I think it is. I think it's really just, you can do it if you want to, and some people want to, some people don't. You know, there's people who don't want to be famous.
I just want to show the people that want it.
Jay wants to make things. Jay wants to show people that it's possible, that he wants to and therefore will, you know, and that's what's important, you know. You find what you want, you grab it, and you never let it go. Yeah, you work towards it. You just work towards your goal always. And if you always take one step towards your goal, you'll eventually get there. You know, or at the very least, you'll get to a point where you're so much closer than you would be otherwise, you know, and like...
Yeah, and even if you don't make it to where you thought you would, you're at least going to make it somewhere better than where you were before.
Yeah, you're gonna be happier.
It's never gonna be exactly what you expect it to be, but definitely work towards getting there.
Yeah, just take the next step. You know, figure out what the next thing you need to do to get to your goal is.
Yeah, don't rush yourself with the whole thing. Just like move towards it. Like if you write music, like either write a melody every day or write like another lyric. Like even if you're working on one song, some people take forever on one song, and that's okay. It gets easier and easier the more that you write. And that's the thing. It's like with any skill, you just get it more and more.
Yeah, like for me, like, you know, the next step for doing for doing what I want to do is both continuing with the whole YouTube thing and also working on like making a game project that me and have been working on for a while. And you know, like our goal with that is to, you know, come up, like finish outlining the story. And come up with a really good and polished demo, and like spend a very long time making that demo the best it can be, and then do a Kickstarter. You know.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, because I really believe in that project. I really believe it can be really good. I'm very excited to continue it. Also, like I really want to, like I mentioned this last time I think, but I really want to make an audio drama. And that's something I've been working on slowly, and it's like that's the next step for me, is just kind of doing creative projects while surviving work. And that's gonna shift focus when June comes and my work ends, and then I have to move, and hopefully I'll get to start HRT like I'm scheduled to, and hopefully like this, you know, like as my situation changes, my goals will change slightly, but like, you know, I'm thinking about it. I'm not thinking about the 8-year plan of how I'm gonna get to be where I want to be. I'm thinking of what's the first step in that like theoretical 8-year plan, and then when I finish that step, the second step might be different than it would have been before. So it's just you know, walk through the woods and point that way, and then get there, and then point that way, instead of like tracing a route immediately.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I just think for me, I just want to make sure that people like. I just also want to push all the other people in my life that want to do big things to do those things, you know, like make sure that they know that they are talented and they can make it. Because that's important. Yeah. Because it took a lot of people telling me stuff like that for me to actually start moving forward as fast as I could towards it. I think that's one of the only things right now that I am being the healthiest with, and I'm using that in my life in general. It's just trying to gain that confidence of like, I know exactly what I'm doing and exactly what I want, so I just need to move towards it and eventually grab hold of it and never let it go.
Yeah.
That's it. I think that's a good note to leave it on.
I agree. I was just thinking that. I'm like, yeah, I think that's a natural conclusion.
That's a very natural conclusion. Motherfuckers, just find what you want to do and start moving towards it, either as slowly, as fastly as you possibly can.
Just do one thing that needs to get done for your
Yeah, exactly. Do it one
real.
Piece at a time. And if all of its one pieces are really easy to do, then you're doing great.
Yeah,
Then just
and the
move
hard
to
one
the next
pieces
thing.
you can break up into smaller pieces.
Just do what you need to do. Honestly, just find those steps and take them. That's it. Like, I'm not saying you have
The thing that helps me stick to it, by the way, is I need to do one thing every day, right?
For sure.
And that thing can be a break, I can consciously be like, okay, today I'm going to work on my mental health and break.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's a conscious decision. It's not a procrastination thing. It's hey, today I'm gonna not work on this project. Instead, I'm just going to relax and watch something with N or something, and
exactly.
But then other days I'm like, okay, today I'm going to work on this. I'm gonna like, I just implemented the battle system in the game that I was talking about.
Hell yeah.
Started to, but I got a good framework for it, which is really nice, and I just sat down and worked on it, and that was great. And it's really hard to, like, as someone who has a lot of motivation troubles, it's really, really hard to. Some days you feel more motivated than others, but like, if you can find something to do, no matter how small, then it does wonders.
Yeah, for sure.
Today I'm gonna do this. Today I'm gonna think about it. If you just spend time thinking about it every day, then that's enough.
For sure. All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, all you beautiful, valid people out there, I want you all to know that we do have a Patreon, as we mentioned within the past little bit. We actually have a pretty nice one. We've got Alakazam is pretty great. We love Kazam very much. We really appreciate you and everything that you do. And if you want to be shouted out at the end of our podcast, then it's $1 minimum for that. I think it's $1 minimum for a shout out. $1 minimum for a shout out. And if you want to see an episode of this podcast a week early, then give us $5 minimum, or you can give us more if you really want to. We don't really expect you to. You can do whatever you want. Honestly, we'll
of course, if you just want to. And if you're watching this video on YouTube or you're listening to it on an app, then the next episode is available right now on Patreon for all our $5 and up Patreons.
Yeah, exactly, for that $5 minimum.
But if you don't want to, or you can't, or for whatever reason, that's totally fine.
Yeah,
seriously. Even if you like have the money for it but just don't want to, then like that's totally fine. Like, that's totally valid. I appreciate you just watching, just listening, just like that. Like, enjoying it is all I care about.
We just like to throw it out there.
If you did want to go the
guys
extra
know
mile, then it's a thing. It's an option.
We just want to let you guys know we appreciate it.
It's certainly we certainly like seeing it, and like pretty much that money will probably like most of that money will go to like the channel,
bettering this. Because in fact, it's going to go straight to like lighting, stuff like that.
Neither of us are in a state where we like need money in life right now, like in terms of like the things. So I'm not gonna spend it on stuff like
we'll
for
just
me.
throw
Jay's
more money at production, like it's getting me an actual fucking light, shit like that.
Yeah, getting Jay a light. It's like all of that money for the foreseeable future is going only to our channel, so that's gonna be great. And then eventually it might branch out to other creative projects we do in general.
And by the time we start making actual money, like the way that we're expecting to, we probably won't even use this nearly as much, like Patreon and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I think Patreon
right now it's
is
just kind of like
used
a thing
too much by big
exists
YouTubers just to make more money.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's the thing where YouTube demonetizes. There's a whole.
Well, yeah, that's definitely it. But I'm saying like YouTubers who make tons of money off their videos and all their other stuff, and then throw a Patreon at people. That's where I think that gets too much. But if we ever get to that point, I feel like we'd probably take it down to $1 maximum or something.
Jay, I don't think our videos will ever be monetized.
They will be.
I mean, like we'll get to the point where they can be, but like. Content-wise, I don't think
copyright claim at the end of our fucking Homestuck thing.
We got a copyright claim in some of our videos.
And the epilogues we got a copyright claim, and I'm not sure why.
Well, it's for the fucking like a Friends theme song.
Oh,
in Home Slice. Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Hey, but I think we'll be monetized at some point.
I mean, like, I'm sure some of our videos will, but like the way we swear all the time, and like, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna be able to make much money off of YouTube specifically.
We can attempt. Eventually, we're gonna make tons of money from every facet. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Once I mature, which probably may never happen, which is okay. I'm a very mature person. Fuck you. Check out all our socials on our link tree. Well, it's like
it's a bio.link.
Bio.link.
bio.link/Ariah and Jay.
I thought it was Ariah Jay, not
A-R-I-A-H-A-N-D.
Ariah and Jay.
I'm pretty sure it's Ariah and Jay. Yep, it's Ariah and Jay.
Okay, ARIAHANDJAY.
ARIAHANDJAY.
Thank you guys so much for
I know you'll see
listening
it Twitter,
or watching,
TikTok,
whatever you
YouTube,
do.
Discord.
I'm really an old man. I started like chewing on the tips of my fucking glasses. It's really not okay.
I don't know what happened to
Like
my
I said
glasses.
earlier, I really appreciate you guys. Ariah also appreciates you guys quite a bit. I hope that you guys have a great day, night, whatever time it is for you, and I guess we'll see you in the next episode.
Sounds good. I love y'all. Bye.
Follow your dreams, motherfuckers.
Follow your dreams.
God, I'm so fucking inspirational.